Hey, Knowsy Neighbors fans, it's Jessica Carden and
Chad Murdock.
Jeremy Manwaring.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. We are doing, of course, this next couple weeks, just doing a couple Zooms, just trying to help not spread the poor illness. I think there's not only just COVID, but I think there's this a horrible flu going around. We've been hit, and so we're just like trying to do our best for the public, and but still do some fun stuff.
Never seen this many people sick before.
So sick. Yeah, so sick. So we are here, but we promise this will be a good one. So thanks for joining us. We are speaking with the quote unquote moderator from East Idaho News, and we're going to find all about who it is that's the person behind comment or moderating all these comments. So we're excited. Now, by the way, if you love local businesses like we do, please like and follow the Knowsy Neighbors page right here. Man, we've got some really cool businesses and really cool people in our community. And we'd love to have you frequent those and take a look at that and do that. And if you like real estate, see, I paused.
We do.
There
like
it is.
we do.
There it is. Jeremy's picking it up for me. I talk so much, I'm trying to do pauses. They're just not used to me stopping talking. If you love real estate, head over to Murdock Manwaring Company's page. We posted the most recent stats for 2021. It is a great time to sell your house. Interest rates are on the rise. If you've ever thought of buying an investment property, if you're not in your forever home, we would love to talk to you about that. That's how we pay for this. We don't charge any of our businesses. We make our money through real estate. So we would love to help you or anyone you know sell your home or buy a home here in Southeast Idaho. All right, let's jump into this.
So I'll just do a little premise here or preface here. So we, all of us are familiar with East Idaho News. I mean, we get the notifications on the app. We check their website, every day and kind of see the different news. And we're familiar with most of the faces of East Idaho News. Most of the people there, you are familiar with. But there's one person that stays behind the scenes, and that's Peggy. And Peggy, we all know Peggy. She never shows her face and never see her name. So anyway.
It's like the Hamilton song, right? Everybody's on the stage and then the sister and Peggy.
Did you want to break into song, Jeremy? That would be helpful at this point.
I thought about that.
That would be really good. And Peggy. Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about no one knows how the sausage gets made.
Ooh, that's applicable as well.
There we go. Yeah. Peggy Jeppesen. We are excited to have you. Thanks for being here. This is going to be a fun interview because I have a lot of questions, as I usually do, but this is going to be really, so Peggy, tell us what you do at our favorite East Idaho News.
Well, I am happy to be here, and my name is Peggy Jeppesen, even though right here it just says Peggy. I'm really not incognito. I don't mind people knowing my name. I tell people that I put on a cape and I go on and I delete comments that shouldn't be there. I really don't have a cape, although I am looking for a seamstress, so I'll put that out there. Really, I just put a great effort every day into keeping East Idaho News a clean, safe, positive environment for people to discuss the issues of the day.
Maybe before we get into the funny stuff and kind of the other things, it is a big, the internet's big, and it is incognito most of the time, right? Because people use handles that aren't their real names, and so there's personal bullying that happens all the time, isn't there?
Absolutely. And there is generally across the board. It doesn't matter where you're at on the internet. But at East Idaho News, we cover almost every continent, can see us, participate with us. And we have to be really careful that those comments, I can clean up language. In the internet, there are filters that will help me clean those up. I can do that all day. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me and what we try and strive to get away from is when the comments turn on each other and they turn to bullying one another. That's where they get deleted, they get hidden, they get removed.
Because you guys
We're
are
not gonna
really about
do that.
letting people have have their opinions and those kind of. You're not there to censor opinions. You're just there to
Right.
make a safe environment. Am I right in hearing that?
Absolutely. I had a lady tell me one day, so you're just whitewashing the news. And I said, no, not at all. I don't do any editing at all. I just go onto the comment section and try to keep it a safe and clean, happy environment, or at the very least, a place where both sides can be heard, both sides can be discussed. It needs to just be done in a civil manner. And
I
I've
love
always been just of the nature of being able to see both sides of a story or of the news of the day. And that makes me annoying, maybe as your friend, but I think it makes me a good moderator.
Yeah.
So I
Because
really love that Josh
Truly.
calls you the mom-orator.
Yes.
Like you're there to keep the
Mm.
playground fun and safe.
Exactly. In
The
fact,
principle.
you just led into my favorite quote I wanted to say if it fit in, and it's perfect for me. It says, peace is not when everyone agrees. It is when we can respect our disagreements and still play in the sandbox together.
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
And human nature
That's
is
my
weird
job.
because humans aren't typically confrontational face to face, but then you
Right.
notice when they're in vehicles and they're driving and there's a safety between them and the other, they get more aggressive, right? They're gonna honk, they're gonna flip people
Yeah.
off or put their hands up or whatever.
Yep.
But then you go on the internet and you can even like disguise yourself so you're not even like
Yeah.
accountable to a name.
Yeah.
People get crazy and mean and just like say stuff they would never say in person.
Because
And
you guys allow a handle that's not a name, right? It's
Yes.
not like I go on there. I don't have to put Jeremy Manwaring. I can choose some random thing and then just start being mean to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I should have got the stats on that before I came, but I don't know how many use a handle, but I would say a fair share do not use their real name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So most
And-
people just choose some rando and they're just
Yep.
out there putting whatever they want.
Yep.
Would you say that most of the people with the handle are the ones who are the biggest bullies? Would you say
Yes.
you find more that way? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that would
Yes.
make sense.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Jess
I
is
will
there
tell you,
just
Peggy,
having
I want to
fun.
know, how did you get into this? I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Once again, there it is.
That's a great question. So a few years ago, I had met Nate Eaton, and Nate and I go way back. We were besties before he knew we were besties. I'm just
Wow.
kidding. We really are. We are now. We're totally besties now. No, we were friends clear back, just acquaintances. I called him a friend. And then when he came to East Idaho News and began that project, of course, I started following him there too. And at that point, realized what a great concept that was. 24/7 news. It's always fresh. It's current. It's awesome. And so I became probably what you would call a super fan of East Idaho News.
Some people call that a stalker, Peggy. But you call it whatever you
Stalker,
want.
super fan.
It
Right.
depends on if you have a
He's a
handle or
super
not.
fan.
If it's your name, it's a fan. If it's a handle,
Yes.
it's a stalker.
Yeah.
Fine line.
I know, as I was talking, I thought, and this sounds kind of bad. Anyway, so I would message him sometimes with story ideas or news tips or things like that. And one day he said, Peggy, would you ever want to come work for us? And I said, oh, I'm not really looking to do that. I'm not looking for a job, but I said, what would it entail? And he's like, well, it's a moderator. And I said, well, what does that entail? And he told me, and I said, that sounds like a terrible job for anyone. Good luck finding anyone that will do that. And then he says, well, we're serious, and it's not a big full-time commitment, although it's kind of worked into that a little bit,
I was
but
gonna say almost probably now.
Yeah.
yeah. And but I did that. I love it and I want to do that. And that's through my own doing too. But about 24 hours later, I thought this might really be a fit for me. And so I called him back and I said, you know, Nate, I think I want to do that. And he said, okay. And he brought me in, and he and Nathan Sunderland, who is also my boss.
I call them the Nates.
I love the
Nicknames
Nates.
too. Yeah.
They are my family now. I love the Nates. I love the team. They're amazing to work with. And that was incredible to be needed. I had raised 3 kids, you know, had my family raised, and I knew I needed to reinvent my life, but I didn't know what that looked like. I had lots of varied interests, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that. And this has been a perfect fit.
That's cool.
You've been
That's
moderating
great.
your whole life, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask my kids.
So do you live in East Idaho?
I do. I live up
Okay.
in the Rexburg area.
In Rexburg. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah,
So do you
nice.
sit in front of a computer and do this all day? You don't have to go into the studio, or do you drive down and go there?
So I do this from home, and then I pop in and out of the office occasionally.
And this is probably, I mean, I don't know how you do this in an 8 to 5 type position. You say you're almost full time. I mean, I would think, I mean, you can't control when they comment. So, I mean, you have to
Exactly.
be
The
checking
mean
all
stuff
the
must be
time.
late at night.
And it is. And so
Yeah.
I check contractually, I check about 4 times a day contractually. What do I really check? Like
Well, you are a
times
super
day.
fan.
1,000
You are a
times, just-
super
Because
fan.
moderators
Right.
don't stop.
No, the moderators do not sleep.
Yep.
Moderators don't sleep. Moderators don't stop.
Yeah.
But what I do is I figure I would have read those comments anyway. So now I get to read them and have some say in the maybe a cleaner environment.
So if we ever
Awesome.
see a comment on Facebook from East Idaho News, is that typically you?
Sometimes, although sometimes it's someone else, usually Nathan.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, Nathan, if you didn't want that out.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and
Yeah.
he says things, he has words that he's just amazing. And so I would prefer that he comment if
Yeah.
it's needed,
He's the dad.
but
rater.
he's great.
So if
But
you gotta
I'm
bring in the
learning.
hammer, the dad has to come in every once in a while and
That's right.
just be like,
Quack, quack, quack,
That's
quack.
right.
So what constitutes a flag? I mean,
oh,
is
that's
it
a good
Oh,
one.
profanity?
that's a
Is
good
it-
question. So it's mostly if it's in bullying in nature or really foul language.
Yeah.
Is there
Do you-
is there white language like you can get a few little words in, or it's like, nope, HE double hoxie sticks and you're out?
There's some, we're fair.
Yeah.
We're fair. We do notice that there were getting to be, oh, okay, they're not going to allow that word. So we'll just go, you know, we'll just change a couple of the letters for
Mhm.
asterisks and dollar signs. And I clean those up too.
Okay. So you can.
Yeah.
edit
You're not
that.
smarter than Peggy. Peggy's a mom. she knows your game.
I know the games.
That's pretty good. But and one of your main things at East Idaho News is come for the news, stay for the comments, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they
that's
even made t-shirts.
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. We should be wearing those T-shirts.
We should have had the t-shirts on.
Oh.
Shoot.
Been wearing
Who
the t-shirts.
prepares this show, for heaven's sake? Don't put me in charge of this stuff. Peggy, so I have a question.
Sure.
Do you block people, or do they just get their comment taken out? Is there a line where you're like, hey,
You're done.
You're out.
Yeah.
Not
So
the chair. You're
yeah.
expelled.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they get to be banned. Sometimes they go in timeout for 7 days.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Oh.
there's
And I'm
levels.
I'm kind of lenient on, I mean, should be 2 months or 2 weeks or a month, but usually I do 7 days.
Have you ever
just
blocked somebody for 7 days and they just created a new handle? And you
Within
could
2
recognize,
seconds.
oh, 2
Within
seconds,
2
right
seconds.
back in.
Yeah. They're right back in.
Oh my word.
I imagine your world has also changed in this past year. I mean, East Idaho News has, I mean, there's been so much in Southeast Idaho that has kind of
Yes.
come to the forefront. I won't mention any names, but
Okay.
a lot that has probably changed your world.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Because
And
it
so-
is so many more eyeballs now.
Yes. Yes. Right. So I started in October 1st of 2020, because I tell people I made it through the 2020 elections, the presidential elections of 2020, being the moderator of East Idaho News.
You can make it through that. If you can make it through that, you can make it through
And
anything.
at that time, when I first started, I asked them to keep my name away from the public eye, and my picture wasn't even on. I said I don't want anything to do with it, because it got so divided so quickly and so nasty so fast. And I just didn't want there to be a moment where there was a personal threat against any of us.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure how to handle any of that. But as time rolled and I got more comfortable, it doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah. Yep.
What's
So-
what's one of the stories that had the most comments, and how many comments do you have to go through?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good
That's a good-
question.
That's a good, I'm going to answer that because I'm not prepared fully to answer that, but I want to answer it this way. There's about 5 really hot topics, and I'm going to name them for you.
These are the
The
hot
L-
ones for you. You always
these-
know this is coming
These
up.
are when a story has anything to do with these 5 things, my antennas go up.
Okay.
Okay. The LDS Church,
Oh, mhm.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a big one. Number 2, the vaccine. Anything to do with the vaccine divides the country immediately, divides our families, our communities immediately. COVID, anything to do with that. Marijuana, should we legalize it or should we not?
Interesting.
Big deal.
Huh.
And January 6th. And that's all I'll say.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
that was a big one. I would dare say probably January 6th in answer to
Wow.
your original question was probably one of the biggest ones I've seen that
Wow.
created such a
And is
terribly
that
bad
on
division.
January 6th, or anytime it's brought up, it still continues
Anytime
to-
it's brought up, even
Okay.
to this day. Yes,
Wow.
Wow.
That is a big
it's a
division,
hot
isn't it?
button issue.
Yeah, well,
And-
you've shocked me, Peggy. I wouldn't have guessed some of those. So
I
that is
wouldn't have guessed
amazing.
Right.
January 6th.
Right.
I wouldn't have realized marijuana was such a
I know.
Hot
decide. How
topic.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised every day.
Yeah.
It's getting less.
Yeah.
but I am a little surprised every day still.
So what's your funniest? Do you remember anything that just made you laugh? Can you think of any
Well,
comments
I'm
or
gonna
things you had to
share-
say?
I actually the one that just drives me bonkers is when I get on and they say, "Oh, here we go again. East Idaho News is getting paid by the big liberals and big farm to say what they need to say." Out of stark curiosity, who do you think's paying us?
Yeah.
And what and how
Yeah.
and why?
Yeah.
So there's that drives me crazy. But with permission, I'm
Who
sharing a
thinks
couple.
paying us?
I don't know.
And pulling your strings. And who are you meeting with every morning to figure out
Yeah,
what your
right.
agenda is going to be,
Yeah.
Peggy, for the
Yeah,
rest
I
of the
don't
day?
know. Yeah, I don't know.
Like you have a bat phone, that you like, oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be my
Oh,
agenda day.
oh.
Thank you.
They're ringing again. Stop the press.
Right. This is one that came in. EIN is pathetic. My comments get removed when I state facts about Joseph Smith's teen brides, yet this guy gets to spout his nonsense without citing any resources. Where are you to remove this comment, Nate Sunderland? So Nate gets a lot of the brunt, bless him. Bless him. There's even some stuff that gets little personal attacks. I will go
Oh.
and do as the Lord commands. As Abraham was prepared to sacrifice Isaac, I am prepared to eat the sandwich you speak of, Russell M. Nelson, who has
Oh my
asked me to do. However, Nate Sunderland would eat without being asked. I hear he'll eat anything.
Oh,
gee.
that's like a
Jen
mean
and I-
tweet.
Chad
That's
and
a
I have been
mean-
accused of the same thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're with
Well,
you, Nate.
Nathan handles everything with grace, and
Oh.
I don't. So I'm more protective. So if I were to have saw that, that would have been nixed immediately.
Do they
We
allow you to
have-
be sassy back? Can you say sassy things back, or do you have to
I
keep
Oh,
it
have.
that
like
just fuels the
professional?
fire.
Oh,
I
you
have
have.
said it, but it doesn't.
Ooh.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
accomplishes
often
nothing.
fuels the fire. That's true. Yeah.
Better never hire me for that job then. I've officially been ousted ever for being a moderator.
Yeah. Well, I do have a twitch, a permanent twitch now. But
Yeah. Have you
That is
ever woken
awesome.
up and said, man, I just can't do this today?
I have not. But I expect there may be a day where that happens, but
Yeah.
I haven't
Wow.
yet.
Well,
I'm
That's
so
amazing.
tired of RX237 coming in
That's
here
right.
and saying all the same dumb things every day.
Right. I know when I started, the Nates both said, be mindful of your, self-preserve.
mm,
Be mindful of your self-preservation. Be careful, because there may be a time or a phrase or a comment that will get to you, and don't let it. They just said, don't let it. Just try to, but if it does, call us, because you can just take that day off. And
Yeah.
they're wonderful to me. They're wonderful. to work
Oh.
with.
So that makes me
And-
think of like on the lives and things. You've got to jump in. Are you jumping there trying to watch that? Are those comments coming up live stream and you have to go back? Or I mean, that's
You're
what's
doing
hard
it
is.
as fast as, what I
Mm.
likened it to. My very first live that I helped with was a tragic situation. And I remember likening it in my mind to Lucy Ball and the Chocolate Factory one, where she's just at
Yeah.
this point, she's shoving things, everywhere and in her mouth. And that's how I felt. And
Yeah.
it was just going faster and faster. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I can't
Jeez.
fix this. And so that was an eye opener for me. And now I can take a breath, and I know that it's okay, and we'll get to those. Even if we have to go back later and clean it up, it's going to be okay.
mhm.
It's a great attitude. We should all have that attitude in all of life.
Well,
Do what you can do and go back and fix the other stuff later, right?
yeah.
There is some
Yeah.
funny comments right now. That's where my funny comments disappeared to. I got Peggy'd.
Peggy.
Oh, you've been
Peggy.
peggied.
Good one,
That's
Darren.
funny. And
That
in
is
the middle,
awesome.
and in the middle of the strange and the awful, there's some really beautiful moments. And they usually come with Secret Santa,
Oh, yeah.
because it inspires everyone. It seems to inspire everyone to just do better, to just, I might not have $1 million that I can give, but I can give something. I can give my time. I can give something, talents. And so it inspires. And just every once in a while, not very often, and I can only think of one example, 2 men argued till it was getting old. Sometimes they don't even have to sometimes they don't even break forum rules, and I'll remind them to play nice, because I see where it's going.
Mhm.
But these 2 individuals apologized to each other at the end of the day.
Wow.
Wow.
And that was momentous for me. I
Wow.
felt like their mom. I did. I thought, oh, this is wonderful.
Good job, boys.
That's right. You're not grounded now.
That is
So
good.
that was really cool. I can't remember the topic. I can't remember their names. But I
Yeah.
remembered there was an apology at the end, and they promised each other that they would try harder. And I thought, that was
Hey,
a big day.
There's hope. There's hope still
There's-
for this
There's
country.
hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, one of the things that we're all just people. We're all human. We're all just trying. And one thing that's helped me to be a better moderator is knowing that I don't know where they're coming from. Their situation is going to be so much different than mine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they just need a place to say what they need to say. We're not always going to agree, and we can agree to disagree, but we don't have to do it in a negative, nasty manner.
And that goes to a question that I was going to ask, and you might have just answered it. But some people might say, why do you even allow comments? I mean,
Oh,
why don't you just turn them off altogether?
we've had people suggest that. We've talked about it,
Yeah.
but it really does. We hope that it keeps people interested in the story, able to discuss things, and maybe have a resolution at the end of things. Maybe.
Yeah.
See some different points of views.
Because you didn't get to make comments on the newspaper, you know, unlike you
Yeah.
can't go on and watch
No.
the news on the TV and then somehow make a comment somewhere. So you guys have that's a whole new world.
It is.
I never even thought about that, Chad. Interesting. This is a forum to make comments when we used to sit at home if someone was mad yelling at the TV. Now they can put it out there.
Yeah,
Right.
you only hear one opinion. That was your dad's about the paper.
Exactly.
So,
No, that's true. You have one opinion, and it was at the dinner table, and it was your father's.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I had thought about that one day, that we used to go, maybe beyond the dinner table would have been a school teacher or across the fence if you were farming. I remember my dad and the neighbor would sometimes talk about a current event. This is a different world. This is in all 24/7 all the time. Comments are rolling in all the time. But with that, I mean, we're relevant. This is what it is now. I mean, our kids are getting their views and developing those viewpoints right now as they're watching things live. So it is what it is.
it is what it
So
is.
you day one said that sounds terrible. Day two you said I'm in.
I'm in.
And now
Year one. and a
you
half.
really have you, do you think that it's fulfilled what you thought it would be? And is it more?
And more.
That
It's
is great.
everything I hoped it would be and more. I love my job at East Idaho News. I love it. I'm not being paid to say that. I am absolutely thrilled to work there. I like the fact that it's 24/7, that we're going all the time. I like that. That fits me. I don't think that the moderator job is for everyone, but I think that for me, it was a perfect fit.
Yeah.
So
You know,
2022. Oh, go ahead.
No, I can delete swear words all day. That doesn't bother me. It's the fact that I really have hope that at the end of the day, we're just humans trying to have a human experience, and it's okay to disagree as long as it's done kindly. I've probably repeated that now 3 times.
You want to
that's
say it
awesome.
one more
That's a good
time?
point.
If we can
think
say,
we should make
if
a
I could put
t-shirt.
a banner there,
Yeah.
that's probably the theme of this video is, hey, you know what? If in the end we can just try to be a little nicer and remember our humanity every day,
Exactly.
this world would be changed.
Yeah.
If everybody Peggy'd every day,
Yes.
what a world this would be.
Yep.
Funny.
And I want to make sure that in the end, my big excitement behind this is putting a face, knowing that when you're about to make a comment and you have a hot opinion and it's fueled your fire, just remember, I don't know if I'm pointing the right way. Am I? Peggy you're talking to Peggy, and she's a super nice lady, and she's a real person, and she's a mom, and she's a cool cat. So
Thank
just
you.
maybe
And
take
she
a
lives
breath.
in East Idaho. She's
And she-
one of us, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I was born and raised here. I've always lived I grew up a couple of miles from where I live now, and I care. I care what happens in this valley. I care what happens in the neighboring cities. I want people to be friends and get along. I want them to be able to be safe when they say something. Around me, yes, but for East Idaho News. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Peggy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being out here without your mask on and letting everybody see your cute face. And
Thank you for having me.
thanks for keeping the sandbox a little nicer.
Yes.
Yep.
Keep the
It's awesome.
poop out of the sandbox.
And clarifying that no one's pulling your strings.
Oh,
You know,
and,
the
you know,
liberals
and if
aren't
I see you in
Yeah.
a Lexus
so-
today, I know who's paying your paycheck. I've just figured that out.
So it's
Thank you,
okay.
you guys.
Keep cussing, but don't bully and don't be mean.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll get it.
Say your
We'll get
opinion
it.
and ignore
we'll
everybody
learn
else.
together. We'll
That's
learn
right.
together.
Yes.
So
Thank
that's
you,
the
you
rules.
guys.
If you guys want to know, this is the rules. You can say what you want. Don't use your fancy F-bombs and
Right.
don't attack other people, and you have a forum to give your opinion.
Yes.
That's easy. Those
respectful.
are easy rules.
Civility.
Easy rules.
We should
Just
be able to
Be
all do that.
civil.
Just
Yeah.
be civil. And
Yeah.
that's a great life lesson anyway. We should all try that.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Thank you, you
You're
guys.
doing a great
Thanks for
job,
being
Peggy.
us,
Keep up the
Peggy.
great work.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
awesome. Thanks again. Okay,
Appreciate
you
you.
guys, check it out. And of course, if you don't follow East Idaho News, you're missing out because it's a great place and some amazing stuff goes on over there. Check it out. Go take a look. And every so often, send a thank you to Peggy in the comments. She probably really like that.
Yeah.
We should have a secret. We'll have a secret. It's a star. Okay, here, I'm setting this up. A little
Oh.
star means thank you to Peggy. Star emoji is thank you to Peggy. So let's
Nice.
see those today. Okay, thanks,
Thank
Peggy.
you.
All right, you guys, it's been
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks again for joining us. And like and follow our page. And this has been Jessica Carden
Chad Murdock.
And Jeremy Manwaring.
with Murdock Manwaring Company, your nosy neighbors. Here we go, keeping you
In the
in the
know.
know.